Today's topic is going to cover a lot of ground because we're going to answer the question, where does disciple making actually happen in church? If you're using the resources at pursuegod.org, what are the environments where disciple making takes place? And we think that there are four main environments: in the family, in the small group, on ministry teams, and then in one-on-one discipling relationships. Let's start with the family. Moses said this in Deuteronomy 6. He said, "You must commit yourselves wholeheartedly to the commands I'm giving to you. Repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you're at home, when you're on the road, when you're going to bed, and when you're getting up." He was sending the Israelites into the promised land, but he was talking to parents and grandparents, reminding them how important their role is in the home. And all these thousands of years later, that hasn't changed. Pastors, you must equip your parents to disciple their kids. You are not the pastor of their children. The dads are, the moms are. So give them the tools to disciple their kids. Now that's why we've built pursuegodkids.org. We've got kids curriculum that you can use for free in your church. We have other discipleship topics on faith and Bible and life, everything. It's all there so that you can give tools to your parents to disciple their kids, because the family is that first environment. Now, the second environment where disciple making takes place is in the small group. Here's what we've learned: that we have to leverage our small groups for disciple making. We think of our small group leaders as disciplers in the group setting. So when they use our resources and our method for discipling, in essence, they're modeling disciple making in the larger group setting. Now, to learn more about this on our network site, check out the small group page. And in particular, make sure to bring all of your small group leaders through our Small Groups 101 series. And this will explain to them exactly how they can leverage their small group for the discipleship culture in your church. Now, the third environment where disciple making takes place is on the ministry team, like worship teams and clean teams and usher teams. So in essence, we're encouraging you to leverage your teams, not just your small groups, but your actual ministry teams for disciple making. Serving teams don't just perform an important function in your church, but they also provide an environment where discipleship relationships can be built. Now, to learn more about this, on our pastoral ministry page, we encourage you to check out the topic called Leveraging Ministry Teams for Disciple Making. In fact, it's our next recommended topic in this Pastoring 101 series. And this is where you can learn how to do just this, how to leverage those ministry teams to be discipleship incubators in your church. And then there's one more environment where disciple making takes place, and it's in the most natural environment, in the one-on-one or one-on-two or one-on-three mentoring relationship, in the personal relationship. And here's the point: every believer, every single believer in your church, I really want you to think about this in your church. Every single believer can go make disciples. Not every believer is going to be on a team or a team leader. Not every believer is going to lead a small group. Not every believer is going to have a family. But every believer can make disciples. Jesus told us this in Matthew 28. Go make disciples, right? And this command, if you think about it, this command was to fishermen and tax collectors. He was talking to regular, everyday people. And our churches are filled with regular, everyday people. And so every single believer in your church can be empowered and mobilized to go make disciples. Now, obviously, that's what pursuegod.org is all about. It's all about equipping regular people to go disciple someone else in their world, one topic at a time, one conversation at a time. And you can also use flextalk.org. This is our companion site. This site is great for public schools and the workplace and the community in a world where people really aren't interested in biblical content quite yet. You can equip the people in your church to use FlexTalk in the community to do what we would typically call evangelism. But it's really what Jesus meant by disciple making. Go take someone who doesn't know Jesus and build a relationship with them and eventually lead them to Christ. So start with FlexTalk and then move to Pursue God. So those are the four environments where disciple making takes place in your church. Start in the families. Leverage your small groups and your teams for disciple making, and then make sure to equip every single believer in your church to learn how to do conversational disciple making, one conversation at a time. That's what all of our resources are about. And this is the kind of church that Jesus envisioned. He wanted us to keep it simple and equip everyone to go out and make disciples.